Hi, it's William. Welcome to FlySpoke. And today I'm going to work on a very somber fly. It's called the Matane Special, and it was the Matane Special so many years ago, before the current Matane Special, which is a dry fly, came about. And we tie so many flies that are really bright and all these colors and crystal flash, and if you look at this fly from the bottom is the way the fish's view. It's got some real distinct color variation between the orange, the white, and the black, and then the crystal flash. And the same thing with this, where this is a really traditional colorations up in the gas bay, where you have gold, crystal flash materials and angel hair materials, the bright chartreuse, and then the contrast with the black. So that's a really pretty cool fly and works real well. But to make a somber fly like this, there is going to be days when this is all that's going to work. Something buggy and simple. So I'm just going to start off with a low water double. It's a size 8, and what you want to do is think about this is, what are the other colorations that this fly can be done in? Think about it as all black with a little something of red put onto it. And I'm just going to start off with some sheer 14/0. It's a 70 denier thread. It's in dark brown. And to put my tinsel in, I'm going to start getting my tinsel in early on the tie, simply because with these double hooks, it tends to not grab real well unless you put it in further up the shank. As soon as the hook splits off, it tends to not grab well. And I'm going right to hang right with the points of my hook, and I'm going to take my tinsel up in, and I'm going to be moving backwards, and just put on 4 or 5 wraps or plenty. Check your wraps, make sure they're nice and tight, and take my finger, simply bring the tinsel in between, tighten, cover. Now I need that tinsel as a rib, so I'm just going to bend it back, just move it out of my way. And then the second thing I'm going to put in, I need 2 different hackle feathers for this, both in brown. One is shorter barbules, the other has longer barbules. We're going to use the longer later. And right now I'm just going to put this in by the stem. I've already prepared it by removing one side. So I have the leading side removed, and I can just easily secure in that hackle feather. And next item is some, you can use a fiery brown color synthetic living fiber dubbing. And you want something that's got a little length to it, a little gnarly looking, kind of rough looking. And grab it. I'm not looking for a real fat body, narrow is okay. When these kind of dubbings get in the water, they tend to expand a bit and give you a fuller look. And just put a little on, take your time. And then just leave yourself a little bit of space right in the front. Now I'm just going to take my rib, which is the same gold tinsel, and I'll try to put on as uniform a rib as the dubbing will allow. Sometimes it gets a little bumpy and can cause your rib to not be perfect. And tie that off down the bottom. I've got it actually ending at the bottom. Bend it over back, cover. Now, lengthen your thread a little bit here so that your bobbin's hanging down. And first I'm just going to trim off any really long pieces of the dubbing, anything that's out of sync with the rest of the body. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this hackle feather and I'm going to run it so that the stem is directly behind and touching the tinsel. And just go right up with it. We're going to go right to the front of the fly, creating this palmered hackle. This is where a rotary vise really comes in when you do operations like this. Rather than try to turn the feather, you're far better off turning the hook. Okay, just put your finger right there, grab. Okay, bend back, always bend back, grab. Okay, let's trim that. Just take your fingers and brush that hackle so that it's standing up or just quite possibly facing back. Anything that you don't like the look of, you remove. I could choose here, right? Here was the original calf tail. There's the calf tail look. Or what if I used a squirrel tail? Same fly. You know, I can add, you can alter this fly up so much in coloration and materials. Let's stay with the original calf tail. And what I want to do with this is just take a little piece, a little bit from down the butt section. And I had to look at it very closely because I don't want to use a stacker, and at the same time I want to get the hairs that are out of place removed or just moved, restacked, and then when I'm happy with what it's going to look like, and it should flow, it should not look like a paintbrush, so you don't want it to be perfectly even. Now I'm going to measure just past the bend of the hook, change hands, snip it blunt, and I'm going to put it right where I want it, cover. Now I just put one wrap right next to the other, moving backwards. And a good idea right now is to either take some crazy glue or some thin head cement. I'm just fixing the position. We'll take some real thin cement here and just put just a little dapple right on the hair portion there, and that'll sink right in. And we'll just let that dry and come right back. Okay, now I'm basically going back to that second feather that I prepared. I removed the forward leading edge, and I'm just going to put it in by stem, and trim. And now this one, what I want to do is I want to grab it and pull it to the back. Grab those barbules and hold them so that they're, as best you can, facing backwards. And I'm putting one wrap right next to the other, moving forward. I don't need a real lot of wraps. That was 4. I'm going to call it quits there. Grab it. Second time, bend everything back. Hold it with your hand. Now moving towards the back and onto that last wrap. And at the same time being conscious of making my head look pretty. This Gordon Griffith sheer thread is a real pleasure to work with. It's very strong and it's very thin. Okay. Look at the whole fly. Okay, tie my whip finish. And quickly, I use 2 different solutions in order to finish the head. If you look at the head here, look at the quality of the head. How slick and shiny it is. That's what we're aiming for, and that can only be done sort of like using Bondo. You have to fill in all the blanks, so it takes multiple coats, and I use a little bit thicker solution, but yet still it'll penetrate the thread for the first and second, and for the third and the fourth coat, I'm using a nail polish finishing product, actually, that is an ultra shine product, and that is a much thinner material. And then it's always a good thing to rotate the vise so that the thread is getting some uniform coat to it. And you let that thoroughly dry before you do your next coat. Somber works. Very buggy looking fly. Matane Special. There it is.